JD here, and as you can see, we are back on F1 25. And you can see by the title of today's video, this shouldn't really be a long one, but hopefully this could be a video that actually transforms your experience on this F1 25 game. And I think this is something I actually recommend to people quite a lot. You don't have to do it all the time, but I think once in a while, this is certainly not a bad thing, because for me, I feel my pace has been really good in this game, but definitely in the qualifying, this is an area that I need to really improve on. And I think one way to really improve yourself at the game is to watch other people who are arguably better than you. So I watch people in PSGL, the esport drivers, people who are maybe better than you in the qualifying, or if you're struggling in the race, people who are faster than you in a race. So I watch the likes of Carl, one of my championship rivals for this season in GASR, and I noticed that he did a race here recently at Spain, which I actually have a pre-season race again. I think this is the final pre-season race we have before the season starts, and I saw his qualifying time. He got pole, shock, and for me, usually it's quite difficult for me to get within 2 to 3 tenths of that. So if I can start to do that, then I feel I have a pretty good opportunity of really fighting for this title. Although we are pretty strong in the race, I think qualifying in this game, especially with the dirty air and how hard it is to overtake, is something you definitely need to improve on. So he did an 11.3, as you can see, and we've got the likes of FRT or VRT Tom and Ivan. These are guys who out-qualify me on a frequent basis. So for me, I think if I could get 11.5 and under and make that quite comfortable, that is going to be pretty good. And watching quite a few of these esport guys and just really paying attention to how they drive, also their settings as well. And this is really what the crux of this video is about, because I actually decided, and you might notice already if you're looking at my screen, that the camera is completely different now. So I'm running the TV pod offset still, so that hasn't changed. The camera type is the same, but I've decided to really change the field of view. The reason why I've done that is that really just slows everything down, makes everything a little bit more zoomed in, wrapped around the screen. And again, this is preference. There is no right or wrong way necessarily. But I noticed a lot of the esport guys were running quite a zoomed in screen, much more zoomed in than I was doing. And that really just changes the sense of speed. And for me, it just feels like everything is going slower. Gives me more time to actually react, things like that. And the other thing, and I'll be showing you all of my actual settings at the end of this video as well, is my calibration settings. So try not to change them as much as possible in the game, but actually change them through my wheelbase, wheel and the pedals itself through that software rather than the game. But one huge thing is the wheel rotation. I used to run 340 and I used to always run 360 in the past. I've noticed watching a lot of the esport guys that they are running 300. Pretty much most of them are running 300, and what happens when you are running a lower wheel rotation, so 360, whatever you do, the game is going to pretty much mirror that exactly, or it should be mirroring it exactly. The lower you go, whatever you do, the game actually turns a little bit more. And I notice when I'm lacking in the quali is that my smooth driving style, I would say smooth, but just my very kind of lethargic and kind of slow steering driving style, that is great for the race when your tyres are going off, because you do need to really smoothen your inputs. Like I watch people like Jarno, I watch people like Otis Lawrence in PSGL, and they still do this flicking technique, but they actually are very smooth in the race as well, and they know when to be smooth. I think my issue, just kind of reviewing myself, is that I am just a bit too smooth all the time, and I can either do this flicking technique or just be much more aggressive with what I'm actually doing, or I could just lower the wheel rotation. And on screen to naked eye, it doesn't look like a huge difference. You'll probably barely be able to notice it, but as soon as you lower that wheel rotation, you just get the illusion that you have more rotation. So I can still be really smooth with my inputs, but the game is going to be much more sensitive and turn actually more than what I'm doing. So I actually think if you're a very smooth driver, the lower wheel rotation you actually want, because you can still be super, super smooth. Whereas if you were very aggressive as a driver and you had a very low wheel rotation, it would be like playing on 10 sensitivity if you were doing like Call of Duty, trying to quick scope people and stuff like that. So I noticed when I was practicing for this, I had a target in mind. Obviously, Carl's done 11.3. I can assume he can probably go quicker than that as well. But for me, if I could do 11.3, usually I'm like half a second off of what he does in the qualifying. So if I could do that, that kind of confirms to me, because I was pretty much stuck on the 0.6, 0.7, and I was huffing and puffing and trying to be aggressive with my inputs, and that was just really kind of changing the muscle memory for me. So in this qualifying session, I lowered it from 340 to 300, and again you'll see all my settings at the end, and it just completely transformed the experience for me. And you can see here I actually missed an apex quite a bit there, so this isn't actually my PB. My PB is a little bit faster than this as well, but you can even see on that lap there is definitely a good tenth or so more easily within this lap. And just changing this wheel rotation and just kind of resetting my calibration settings. I didn't really change my actual wheel settings from the software that much at all. I just really kind of desensitized it in the game, so you'll see from my calibration, and then you'll see my rotation in here along with my camera settings, just trying to get everything through the wheel as much as possible. And coming across the line, we do an 11.3, which would have easily put me P2 on the race he did against a very competitive grid the other day. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. And you can see these are my camera settings now. You will have to adjust this, especially the offset lateral, depending on the car, because the game unfortunately has a bug where it doesn't center you in the screen. But then if we go over to my force feedback settings now, so you can see JD update, I've actually updated it. Calibration, most of this you want 0. I only have a little bit of throttle dead zone because I actually just tend to lean on the throttle a little bit. I always recommend that for low cell for the throttle and the brake. Throttle saturation just means I get to 100% quicker. Don't have to push it all the way down. And this is all I'd recommend. I think most of the time you only want to be adding a little bit of dead zone. You want to be leaving everything else to absolute 0. But for me, I'm a little bit too smooth with the input. So a little bit of throttle saturation. And then if we go into here, you can see 100% force feedback. Everything else is 0. We're now on 300. And if I bring up on screen now, this is my actual wheel settings I use. And they're pretty standard. Again, if you're using a different brand, this probably won't work for you that well. If you're using Fanatec, this could work very well. And yeah, just this little change has actually transformed my experience on this game. So I really hope it was useful to you. Let me know if it was, and I will catch you very, very soon. Peace.